Daniel said at the way kids say things when they don't know it's a thing. We were in the exam room. Dr. Ackenwell was asking him about screens at home, sleep, the usual 7th grade questions. Daniel said he sleeps okay except at grandma's, because grandma gives him the cough medicine that makes him sleepy when he doesn't have a cough. I'll tell you what. I felt my stomach drop. Dr. Ackenwell didn't look at me. She kept her eyes on Daniel and asked, very calmly, how often that happened. Daniel said, overnights, sleepovers. The Friday nights Eileen takes the kids so Tom and I can have dinner. He said grandma calls it her trick, and he likes it because then he sleeps through the whole night and isn't tired at school the next day. I sat in that little plastic chair and I did not say anything. I did not say anything for 3 reasons. Because Daniel was talking, because Dr. Ackenwell was listening, and because if I opened my mouth in that room, my son would learn in the next 2 seconds that something was wrong, and he hadn't done anything wrong, and I was not going to put that on him in a pediatrician's office on a Tuesday. Dr. Ackenwell finished the visit. She gave Daniel a sticker, which he is officially too old for and quietly still likes. To the door she touched my arm and said very gently that she'd like me to handle that conversation. And to call her if I had questions. I told her I would handle it and my voice sounded normal. I have no idea how. In the parking lot Daniel asked if he could get a smoothie. I said yes. I bought him a smoothie. I drove him home. I made him a grilled cheese. I asked about his band practice. The whole time. My hands knew what they were doing and I was not in my body. When he went up to do homework, I called Tom. I said, can you come home? He said, is everyone okay? I said, Daniel is fine. Come home. Tom got there at 4:30. I told him in the kitchen, leaning on the counter by the coffee maker because I needed something to lean on. Tom said, what? He said it twice. He said, my mother. He said, my mother. Like he was trying to make the 2 words mean what they were supposed to mean. I watched him sit down at the table and put his hands flat on it. I thought about calling Beth. I almost did. I went so far as to find her name in my phone. Then I put the phone down because I knew what Beth would say, and I knew I needed to do this before I had Beth's voice in my head. Because Beth's voice would make me sharper than I wanted to be. Tom said, I'll call her. I said, no. He said, Karen. I said, no, honey. I have to do this one. The thing I almost did, honestly, was write a text, something careful, something that said we needed to talk and gave her time to prepare. I sat with my phone and I typed it and I deleted it, because the truth is, a text would have been for me. A text would have let me tell myself I'd handled it without having to look at her face. Daniel was upstairs. I picked up my keys. I drove the 7 minutes to her house. She was watching her show. She muted it when I came in. I did not sit down. I told her what Daniel told Dr. Ackenwell. I said the words cough medicine and trick and every overnight. I said it the way you say something true, which is plainly and once. Eileen's face went through 3 things: surprise, then something that wanted to be a defense. Then when she saw I was not arguing with her, just standing there waiting, the 3rd thing, which was her understanding that I knew. And that knowing changed something. She said, it's just a little Benadryl, Karen. To help him sleep. I said, Eileen. He doesn't need help sleeping. He needs his grandmother. She started to cry. Did I let her cry? I did not cross the room. I also did not leave. I told her the kids would not be staying overnight there for a while. I told her I loved her and I meant it. I told her this was not a punishment and it was not negotiable. I told her we would figure out a different rhythm. Sunday dinners, afternoons, all of that. And that I wanted Daniel and Emma to keep her in their lives. I said all of it in a normal voice. I did not raise it. I did not soften it either. When I got home, Tom was at the kitchen table with 2 glasses of wine poured. He looked out. He didn't ask. I told him. He nodded once. After he went up, I stood at the counter and I opened the corner cabinet. I took the good spatula out of the drawer it has lived in for 15 years. The wrong one. And I put it in the drawer next to the stove. Where it should have been the whole time. I closed the drawer. I stood there for a minute. Then I went up to bed.